Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, devotees. Thank you all for joining today. And we are very grateful to Srila Prabhupada for giving us this knowledge. And grateful to his disciples who are the current spiritual masters for continuing the legacy of giving this knowledge to others. So I'm very thankful to my own Guru, Diksha Guru, and many, many Siksha Gurus who kept on reiterating this point that the way to learn is to share. So I'm thankful to you also, all of you, for giving me an opportunity, a platform to share what I know. And today we are in the last session of this 5-day session. And we'll continue from where we left yesterday. We'll take some questions and also we'll inform you about what is our next plan to continue this, how we are going to do. And you can opt to either be in that group if you want to continue this learning. We will also, it won't be like every day like this, maybe once a week as of now. That's what we have decided. So we'll put up the days and time. That will also be on Zoom, and we will continue the next level of learning of Bhagavad Gita. So now we'll start with prayers. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrindam. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yatkripatamaham vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanyam Ishwaram. Om Tat Sat. Okay. So just to recap, uh, we saw more about we started off with seeing who we are. We are not this body, and we are the spirit soul. And also how, as spirit souls, we are part and parcel of the Supreme Spirit, God, and he is called as Krishna because he is having all attractive qualities. And he has many, many names based on his qualities. And also, what is Dharma? What is Sanatan Dharma? Because we are eternal living beings. So, apart from the duties of this material body, we have the duty based on our own identity as spirit souls. So, we also learned that executing that duty will make us feel fulfilled in life, and also uh, we will be freed from fear and anxieties. So, how also we learned that the mantra is something that uh, the sound vibration, if we absorb in the sound vibration with all our might and all our focus that we can muster, of course, the mind will run here and there, but we try our best. If we chant mantra like that, then the result is that the mantra is acting as, it cuts off the mind from those things that are affecting the mind, right? And also we saw how there are five senses or five horses, and the mind is the regulating reins of the horses. Intelligence is a person who's driving, and soul is a passenger in this chariot of the body. And there are different levels, and how the different levels of happiness in different levels, they continue to have a longer duration. Physical happiness lasts only for some time, mental happiness more, intellectual happiness maybe for a lifetime. But beyond that is the spiritual happiness that can never be taken away, but by any condition of life or death. So now we are going to see what is the goal of life. We saw that we are the architect of our own next life and the body, and that's the art that Bhagavad Gita is teaching us. So as human beings, we have this choice to inquire why some things are happening to me beyond my wish, and why am I acting in some way as though being pushed by someone. So this is the reason that special intelligence is given to us than the animals. And if we don't use this intelligence, then we are living a life of fear and anxiety, very much like an animal, but in this human life. So, I mean, isn't that, that the Puranas, Bhagavad Gita calls as miserly living. Miser is a person who has got a lot of wealth, but who doesn't have the heart to use the wealth neither for himself nor for anybody else, right? So, having got this human form of life, which is the most, which has got the uh, chance to understand all these things and to live a fulfilled, happy, and peaceful life, if we are missing out on that, then we are called as Kripana or very miserly because we have not used this great chance. So previously, Bhagavad Gita, although he's telling all this, mm, it was not told in a way that we can understand and easily practice without having to change our situations much. My understanding of Bhagavad Gita before I came to Krishna consciousness is that it's a very philosophical book directed towards renunciation, and for people who are elderly and, who has nothing else to do in life. But after I came to these classes, and then I started learning, and I'm continuing to learn. I'm sharing whatever I teach. I feel that this is a book that we should fall love with. We should fall in love with, because this is, directly touching our heart and our consciousness, and making us live a better life. So who else can do that? Even we ourselves are struggling with so many things. But Krishna's words through Bhagavad Gita can bring about this change in us. So the goal of life is to be happy and peaceful, and is to do spiritual activities every day alongside our material activities. And the ultimately why we do all this is to purify our heart by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So generally we have, every one of us has a tinge or more of exploitative mentality. Like Ravana, we want to take God's property without engaging in God's service. That's what Ravana wanted. I will take Sita. Who's there to stop me? Right? So we want to live happily. There are many people who say that I don't, I am a good person. I'm not God fearing, but I'm good. I don't do any bad to others. I look at my own business and I live my life. So what's wrong in that? You might have heard many people, say this to you. But the point is, that means we are living a Ravana life. We don't inquire who gave this body very nicely, and who has designed our life, who gave our, parents and financial situation. We could have very well be born in Mongolia and got lost forever, or, born somewhere in some obscure parts of the world, right? But still we are here. Why? Right? So, and also we have to think, what can I do with this? So that's why Bhagavad Gita teaches us to recognize the presence of the Lord, like uh, uh, in the pearl strung by a thread. So we are given this knowledge to see that invisible thread, and so we can live a life of gratefulness and service mentality, than using everything, whatever it is available here, and thinking that I'm living a good life. So Hanuman is an example for that. Uh, Hanuman served Lord Ram in all capacities, and even now, if you see, Hanuman is always like this in front of Lord Ram, ready to take his orders, and Hanuman is happy and counting when we chant Lord Ram's name. And Hanuman is a Chiranjeevi, right? He is still living. That means there are some beings who have been given this uh, boon to live forever, as long as Lord Rama's name is sung in this world. Rather, Ravana, with an exploitive mentality, although he was undisputable king, that he did not care to ask um, immunity against human beings and monkeys, because he thought human beings and monkeys are my food. Why I have to waste my boon asking that may I not be killed by them? So he's so arrogant, so proud, so qualified, so knowledgeable, but he was finished in spite of all the efforts. So we can see how exploitative mentality will finish us, but service mentality will help us live forever. So, yeah, self-awareness, right? So there is a saying that how regular brushing is for dental hygiene, meditation is for mental hygiene. If we don't take time off and meditate using the mantra meditation, or any other aspects, whatever we can to calm the mind down, then it is like we are piling up the trash in our mind and never letting it out. It's keep on piling. So mind will be full of trash and it will stink only, right? That's why mind is like a monster controlling us. So it's very important to be self-aware that I am an eternal spiritual soul within this temporary material body. And so, that self-awareness would only, kill our low self-esteem, depression, and so many problems is solved by this. And also it helps to protect our own dependence, and we will not be vulnerable, we'll be strong, and we can help others who need this spiritual awareness and thought. Because what's the use of learning about everything else, excelling everywhere, but we don't take time to better ourselves, to make ourselves strong by the spiritual wisdom. Yeah. And also, it helps us connect to the Supreme Divine through the devotional service. As we saw, we are part and parcel. Just like we are part of the tree and Krishna, our God, is the root. And we are like, we are part of the body and he's like the central part of the body, like a stomach. So everything what we eat goes to the stomach, but ultimately the whole body is nourished. So similarly, when the Jivatma learns to keep his connection with the Supreme through the yoga of love, there are different yogas. Devotional service means yoga of love. Attachment and love is more easy than detachment and the rigorous, self-abnegation processes. So that's why Krishna says in 6th chapter, uh, तपस्विभ्यो अधिको योगी ज्ञानिभ्योऽपि च मतोऽधिकः कर्मिभ्यश्चाधिको योगी तस्माद् योगी भव Arjuna. So he's saying more than a tapasvi who's following Ashtanga Yoga, more than a jnana yogi, more than a karma yogi, a bhakti yogi is the best. And the next sloka, the last sloka of the 6th chapter, he says, Yoginam api sarvesham madgate nantaratmana shraddhavan bhajate yomam same yukta tamo mataha. A person who's always thinking of me within his heart is, connected with me in love, and he's the best of all yogis. So what happens when we are connected with the divine? Then we download the divine grace, and then it's possible to do the impossible. So why do we need self-purification? Because ultimately, the problems are because of this. I am the proprietor, I am the boss and the controller, and I am the enjoyer. We may think, oh no, I'm not even thinking about this, but subtly these things are there, right? We always want to increase our property. And if somebody else gets, we have one house and somebody gets two houses, and there are 10 friends and 9 of your friends have two houses. And then if you have only one house, then even that one house is a source of misery. Because how come they can have two and I can have only one? We don't compare with those who don't have anything at all, right? And this mentality of controller, we have some plans in mind, and we think my family, my children, my boss, my everybody around me should go according to the plan. But the point is, everybody around us has a plan like that. And everyone invariably is thinking that everybody else should follow my plan. And that's why there is clashes. And then I am the enjoyer. So, these are the three things we want to be in control of. Control of money, control of situations, and control of people. And when these things go out of our hand, some situation comes and we need to spend a lot beyond what we calculated. We planned some situations and it's going out. and people, they're out of our wish, then we go crazy. We are absorbed in that. And it brings us so much misery. So what happens in when we learn Bhagavad Gita, we learn to become Krishna conscious. Means how Krishna or God is present in every sphere of my life, in every happening around me, in every day, He's present. And there is some lesson that I have to learn. Something I'm undergoing, something is happening around me. Everything is connected to God, right? So that is what is Krishna consciousness. And in that thing, we become aware that everything is due to the Lord being the creator, and he let it happen like that. See, periodic table of elements. We didn't create any of this. We discovered this, and everything has a place and a property, right? So we discussed enough. So a person who created, then it is meant for serving him. Like, you know, generally the parents uh, are the creator of the children. And what is the expectation? The children listen to the parents and serve, because the parents would chalk out a life for the children, and children, if they follow that, then they are happy, and then they are serving the parents. So similarly, if God has created this world, then isn't it meant for his pleasure? But when we come and take the position of a minute independent God, then uh, we lose our spiritual mind and intelligence, and then we are covered by lust, anger, and greed. So the whole, if you see the movie industry, it's only this. There is lust, anger, and greed, and more of this is promoted again and again and again in different forms. From Hollywood to Bollywood to Tollywood to whatever wood. Everything is centered around these three. So, yeah, we can see that how, I mean, even from a child, we have this propensity. We can see in this picture how the child wants to have the whole cake. And yeah, in the thing of Bali Maharaj also, that he um, is taking the usurping the kingdom of Devatas, and finally Lord Vamanadev came and gave back to him. Even it is there, this thing of proprietorship. Why the whole Mahabharat came about? Because Duryodhana didn't want to give them anything at all. He didn't want them to exist at all, first of all. So, but rather, when the Rajasuya Yajna happened, Yudhishthira was thinking that all this is given to me by the Supreme Lord, and I'm just a custodian of Supreme Lord's property. And that is why, because of this mentality, Pandavas were able to take the ups and downs like sine waves. Right? Draupadi had to leave her children when they are 3, 4 years old, when the gambling match happened. Then when she came back, it was after 13 years. She lost to see her whole their whole childhood. They all become teens, and then immediately war came. And after the war, they were all killed with Ashwatthama. So much, but still she was able to tolerate all this, one difficulty after the other, because there was no proprietorship. And we see what happened to in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, when Ashwatthama killed the five younger Pandavas, thinking that they are the Pandavas. They were sleeping, and Ashwatthama goes and beheads them and brings the five heads to Duryodhana when he is about to die. But he touched the heads and said that they are not uh, a grown-up man's head. So you have done a big mistake. Even Duryodhana was not happy with that. So Draupadi was crying, and then Arjuna got Ashwatthama, who did this greatest crime. Five sons of Draupadi were killed. So Ashwatthama was tied in ropes and got in front of Draupadi. You can imagine what Draupadi said, that please release him, because I don't want another woman, Ashwatthama's mother, to suffer like me. I am suffering at the grief of my children having gone, but I don't want Kripi to suffer like this. And she's telling that, he is Guru's son. So we have to see our Guru in him and we should not do this. So that was her heart. You can imagine who will have this? Who can have this? And she was not making it up. She was not on a talk show. It was reality. And, Arjuna had to decide between whether killing Ashwatthama or leaving him alive. So Bhagavatam teaches us so many nuances. So we can see how, being Krishna conscious, Draupadi had developed this, heart of good qualities and forgiveness. And she's known in Bhagavatam, she's glorified because of this. So, yeah, see, this is what the whole fight is, because although the husband knows the wife is right, or the wife knows the husband is right, why should I listen to your viewpoint? Why can't you listen to my viewpoint? This is this is a common thing happening everywhere. We know some things are right or wrong, but we can't accept it, just the fact that it is coming from the other person. And that's because we want to be the controllers. Similarly, a married man, is pulled by both his wife and his mother. The mother would say, I have given my blood and my life to you. How dare you? And then the wife would say, how dare this lady take you away from me? And then he's gone. He's torn in two. Because I want to be in control. Okay, this person has to listen to me, not to anybody else. So same way we see in the ninth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, King Ambarish and sage Durvasa. Durvasa was a very powerful sage, and Ambarisha had taken some water before feeding Durvasa the guest, and so um, Durvasa wanted to teach him a lesson and created a being to kill Ambarish. But Ambarish was not disturbed. Rather, that fiery being started chasing Durvasa Rishi, and he went everywhere. Kailash, Brahmaloka, even to Vaikunta. And Lord Vishnu said, I can't do anything. I am in the control of my devotees. You go to him. And he came back to Ambarish, and Ambarish embraced him and, not only forgave him, but asked him apology that I have angered you. But this again shows that how a person who is following devotional service is the controller of his senses and mind. He doesn't get conquered by the situations and by the mind. But a really Krishna conscious or God conscious person sees that I am in this position of a leader because God has given me this opportunity. Let me be here. So I am just here to serve. The more higher I am, the more I have to serve others. I am an instrument of God to serve those. Then there is no controllership mentality at all. Same way we saw enjoyership mentality. Everything in this world is meant for me to enjoy by hook or crook, right? And I don't want to give anything to anyone. This is there from very young, since we are born, sibling rivalry, friends rivalry. So it is with toys in the beginning, then we grow up, but instead of toys, we have properties, we have people, and then, this is there. So this chanting of the mantra delivers us from these three mentalities. I am the controller, I am the enjoyer, and I am the proprietor. From these three comes lust, anger, and greed. It is eating us without us knowing. right? How much we have messed up our life being servants of these unwanted qualities. And the Hare Krishna Mahamantra delivers us from these afflictions. We have been carrying this from life after life after life. Death doesn't make us, immortal or any saint. Death only, you know, gets us from one situation to the other. So by chanting this, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Iti Shodashakam Namnam Kali Kalmasha Nashanam. These 16 words will kill the bad effects of Kali Yuga. Yeah, so it is not, it is a prayer. I mean, like how we do prayer, in that mood we have to chant very sincerely. And it protects us from dangers that will take our mind and senses away, and also protects us from real dangers, like how Prahlad was protected from dangers that is caused by his own father. And it will help us remember the Lord's divine presence, and we are also praying for an opportunity to serve him. That's why Srila Prabhupada said at least a minimum of 10% in your day you have to chant, get connected to the Lord. In 24 hours, at least 10%. Then that effect will linger throughout the day. The next day again we start with zero. And so this is like an oxygen to us. That's why we start the day with this, chanting the mantra. And so we are able to give ourselves this protection throughout the day. Yeah, so by chanting, we can understand that Krishna as a supreme enjoyer, ultimate controller, and our best friend. He's not only supreme enjoyer and ultimate controller, and that he's living high up above the sky that we cannot reach, but he's in our heart and he's our best friend, and we can relate to him like this. Yeah, so we can surrender to Krishna, knowing his qualities, knowing his nature, and how he is connected with him. Now we'll see what is material world and spiritual world. So, in the 15th chapter, in the first verse, Krishna says, Urdhvamulam adashakam ashvattam prahuravyayam chandamsi yasya parnani yastam veda saveda vid. This material world is like a reflection of the spiritual world. I think it's there. Is it? Okay. Yeah. So it is like on a m- river, on a lake. There is the bank of the lake. There is a apple tree, and then the tree is reflected on the river and the lake water. So we see the reflection, and we see the apple fruits reflection also. Someone who's out in the swimming in the lake, they're very thirsty, and then they're coming looking at the reflection. Oh, I've got it. But when you got it, it's not there in your hands. But you see the apple some more distance away. So again we swim to that. We catch it. We can never catch the apple because it's not a real fruit. It's only a reflection. So after explain, Krishna gives this example, 15th chapter, first verse, and he says this. The real tree is the spiritual world. But until we know this material world is a reflected tree, how will we give this up and go to the real tree? Right? We will try looking here, life after life after life. So that's one thing, that it is not that the material world is everything. It's only a perverted reflection of the spiritual world, and that means a bad copy of the spiritual body. So material body is a bad copy in the sense we have individuality like in a spiritual body. We want to live forever, but we have subjected ourselves to reside into the material body and go through the pains and pleasures of the material body. In that way, it's a bad copy. So Krishna is telling about this blissful spiritual world where it's a happy planet where every moment is a festival. He says, uh, Anityam asukam lokam imam prap kim punar brahmana kim punar brahmana punya bhaktya rajarishiyas tata anityam asukam lokam imam prapya bhajasvamam. What you've got now is a bad bargain. Anityam asukam. Nothing is permanent here. And of course, there is some happiness, but that also is temporary. Imam prapya, you have obtained this bhajasvamam. He says, worship me. And then he says, Janma karma chame divyam evam yo veti tattvataha. A person who knows Krishna's appearance, janma and karma, whatever he has done, is in reality is a trailer. So a trailer comes out before the movie. So that when we see the trailer, then we develop a desire. I want to see the movie. So when Krishna comes here, his janma and his karma is very different from how we are born here. We are born here pushed by karma. He chose his parents. When he was born, and Devaki and Vasudev were, oh my God, he's born with 4 hands and cruel Kamsa is going to kill him now. What do we do now? Where do we hide him? He took the Vishnu form and he told his parents, he told his parents who were they in the 3 lives before and how they, meditated on him for 11,000 celestial years. And when he appeared, they asked him that we want you as our son. So how in the previous life, they were Shuttapa and Prishni. He was born as Prishni Garbha. In the second life, they were Aditi and Kashyapa. He was born as Upendra, Vamana. And now they're Devaki and Vasudev. And he's born now. And Krishna is saying, I have to tell you this because if I don't tell you, you will not believe. Then he says, take me in a basket, go walk across the river Yamuna and leave me in the house of Nanda Maharaj who is living on the other side. Which child would do that? Take a form, talk to the parents, tell them what to do. So that's why his birth and his activities is very different. He's a proprietor of the whole world, but every day he would go and steal butter. And he would ask, he's completely renunciant, but he's dancing with every gopis. And he's having 16,108 wives. How is it possible? So the whole pastime of Krishna is full of contradictions. Like anything that Trump says now, I mean, we click on it because something controversial attracts our mind. And that's why when he came as Lord Rama, there is no description of Rama's childhood much like Krishna's at all. He didn't steal butter. I mean, he was just a few songs. That's it. No uneventful childhood. But Krishna, every day he did something. And Sukadeva Goswami is saying that he did a lots of more things, but I can only tell you this much. So, so people, we have to think why God is doing things that is, contradictory to his nature. Then we'll go in depth and study. And then if we know that his activities are not like our activities, he's very transcendental, beyond the 3 modes of material nature. Janma karma chame divyam evam yo veti tattvataha. In reality, if we understand what is the result, tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti sorjuna. Tyaktva deham. After giving up this body, Punarjanma Naiti. He doesn't need to take another body. But where he goes, Mam Eti. He comes, he reaches me, Arjuna. And why he has to reach there? Because there is no birth, death, old age, and disease. And God made even this world so interesting. We saw how he is a designer, artistic. Then you can imagine his world, how it will be interesting. How every word is a song, every moment is adventure, and all living beings are completely pure. There is no it's called Akshara Lokam. In 15th chapter at the end, he's telling Dvavimau Purushau Loke Ksharashchakshara evacha sharaha sarvani bhutani kutastokshara uchyate. There are two worlds. One world, nobody here we can claim that we have not done any mistakes so far at all, right? Even a small baby will claim that I have done some mistakes. But in the spiritual world, nobody commits even a single mistake. They're akshara, they're perfect beings in a perfect world. So that is a world that Krishna is inviting us. But we can't go there just like that. We need to deserve and desire. We need to first of all desire, then do activities to deserve that. Who would not love to, you know, stay in a body always young like this? The Gopas never grow old because there's no time. Here there is time, so you are 1 year, then you're 10 years, then you're 15 years, then because there is time. There is no time. Time is conspicuous by its absence there. So who would not want blissful life of unending happiness? So in a human form of life, we should aim for this. If we didn't make it even in this life, we will pass away with this desire in the mind. Although we don't deserve this, the next life we will continue from where we left. We have read Bhagavad Gita, we are trying to follow, but we are not perfect. There is still some lust, anger, greed, a lot of it in our mind, say, and my death has come. But still, if I have developed a desire that, I want to get rid of all this and go back, it will not be much. It will be maybe 1 or 2 lifetimes more. But sure enough, we are going. But if we don't even know that there is such a place like this, and if we don't develop a desire, then what's the hope? Right? So someone may ask why the soul leaves the spiritual world and comes into the material world. Because we all want to enjoy and imitate God. So, like we saw this example that a small child wants to drive a car, then he's given a small car. And then, he drives for some time, then he gets, oh, I can't drive anymore, it's difficult, and then he comes. So, we have this independence, minute independence, which the Lord will not interfere into. We need to use that independence to desire to uh, become a position as a servant of God. A servant of God is not an ordinary position because a servant of God is a lover of God. And God, and Krishna proved in the whole Leela that somebody who loves him, he gives himself to that person. With a Yashoda, he's ready to, get beaten up by the stick in the hand of Yashoda. And all the, elderly gopis, they would say, Krishna, do you want this laddu? He'll say, yes. Then they would say, no, you have to dance. Only then we'll give you laddu. And he will dance, like God dancing. You can imagine how beautiful it is. And they'll give him half the laddu and say, you dance one more, then only you'll get this other half. And he is willing to be subservient to his devotees in different forms of relationships, right? So that's why what gives the fish, if you take the fish out of water and give him everything, not be happy. What gives him happiness? Because he'll gasp for water, right? So we are eternal beings, and we even when we go and purchase something, we will purchase something that will last for long, even if you pay more money. We will not settle for something that will break down immediately by giving the less money, right? So we have that mentality. We are gasping for eternality. We want eternal life. But what we got is temporary lives. So that's why the spirit soul in this material world is always like oil and water. We don't mix. But when the fish is thrown in the water, then he's happy. Right? So similarly, when the soul is in the spiritual planet where there is no tinge of material miseries and no end, then we are happy. Yeah. Like, there is a story that there is a lost son of a billionaire father. He would go and he would leave the father and go, and he will squander all his money. This is a very famous parable in the Bible. So, and then at the end, he would become a servant to somebody's thing. He will feed the pigs, but he would be so hungry that he would want to eat the food that he feeds to the pigs. Then he was thinking, I'm a worker here, but even the workers in my father's estate, they got good food. They didn't starve like this. So let me go back and be a worker in my father's house. But when he comes only, the father is running and embracing him, the prodigal son. He comes, then he becomes a heir next, heir apparent for the father's property. The father doesn't stop him and say, okay, you left me for so many years, now don't come inside. No, the father's heart is always to take him back. Oh,
A
yeah.
man had
Just going to skip this because of lack of time. Yeah, so we see all the parts of the tree are nourished by watering the root. Same way the parts of the body get strength by feeding the stomach. All the souls, part and parcels of the Lord, are happy only by serving the Lord. Means not that we don't serve anybody else, but everybody else we serve through our service to the Lord. Like for a homemaker or the mother or father, the main thing is cooking and cooking for the family and giving food that the family likes. But if we just give them food, then that is serving them. But if we, before giving them food, if we offer the food to Krishna, then that becomes serving the Lord and serving the family as well. So, like this way, every single activity of the family, we can use it as in our work, in family, in our recreation. Everything can be dovetailed or done as a service to the Lord. So that's what we learned, that the soul is a cooperator, not competitor of God. Soul is a dependent servant of God, not the independent master. That is the main teaching of Bhagavad Gita. If we try to think, there are many Bhagavad Gitas which are not as it is, which say that you become one with God after liberation. But that's not told like that at all. He says that you come to me, you come to my planet, you will live with me. So again and again, Krishna is calling for a personal uh, association with him, which is much higher than just merging in the form of the light. Yeah. So the soul can be happy only in loving devotional service. But when we put up that loving and expectation in this material world, we are always being cheated. Either we don't live up to the expectation of somebody who loves us, and the same way, those whom we love will not live up to our expectation. That is the definition of this material world. But how to live in this world? Okay, it is not that we have to wait to go to the spiritual world after this body is done. Even in this material world, we can enjoy the presence of the spiritual world. So by following the scriptures and molding our life in such a way that we can do everything as a service to the Lord. And how to do that? This is a ABCDE formula: association. First of all, we should not leave this association where we get together and discuss this. Very rarely you get this in this world. There are so many clubs and so many friends and so many things. But to discuss about our souls and spiritual needs and how to practice Bhagavad Gita is very rare. Once you get into something, we should not let it go. That's the first step. Always be in contact. Then we learn in the association how to read the books and how to apply them. because books are the basis. If we just hear someone telling their experience, it will take so many years for us to sink in. But if we hear as well as we read, then we get things quickly. And then we chanting. Why chanting? Because we saw that's very easy and simple process and most effective process to engage the mind and the senses. See, God is not asking our money. He's asking our mind, because he knows that we are troubled by the mind and he wants to sit in the mind, and unless we allow him, how will he sit? So that's about chanting. And the diet, we should have a sattvic diet, that which is offered to the Lord, so that we can think in a good way, because what we eat we become, like that. So we have to make sure that the diet is as much as possible in the mode of goodness, and then we engage practically in some service to the Lord. So this is the ABCDE formula. Yeah, we know that there are two parrots. One was sold to a butcher and another to a saintly king. The parrot, one day the sage visited both of them. One parrot was telling, kill him, cut his neck, take the blood out, drink the blood. This is what one parrot is saying. The other parrot, who is with the saintly king, he's reciting verses. He's telling that, how I can be of service to others, how I can serve God. Both parrots are the brothers, but they are, brothers and the siblings. But it depends on the situation, the association, right? The man is known by the company he keeps. Even the calf, it is said that if it makes friends with a pig, it will eat stool. So we become what we associate with. And that's why we have to also be careful to whom we associate with. And also we should teach it to our children also. Whom, I mean, they need to choose their friendship and association, so that they are in good path always. So we have authorized textbooks like that. Similarly, we have Bhagavad Gita. There are so many books you can see in spirituality about the mind and TEDx and so many people talking. But the basics of everything is Bhagavad Gita. Because why? This is a holy book. It is termed as a holy book. It is a scripture. We can know everything else, but first we should know this manual of thoroughly, cover to cover, and again we read again and again. Then we can clearly place things whether something is right or something is wrong. So we need to choose the right authoritative books. This is coming from God himself. It is perfect knowledge. Yeah, so we can see that chanting this Mahamantra is, first of all, it gives us peace of mind and relieves us from anxiety. Then we continue to chant. Then we start to realize that we are not this body, we are spirit soul. Then we learn that we are a part and parcel of the Lord. And what is our real identity in serving the Lord? Everything will be revealed. So, Dhruva, when he was insulted by his stepmother, Narada Muni came to him and gave him this mantra, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Because chanting, then Dhruva not only did meditation, but with chanting he did meditation. Same way Valmiki, he was a hunter and he couldn't even say Rama. He could only say Mara, because a hunter only sees death. So he's telling Mara, 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 and became Rama, Rama, Rama. And finally he became so much purified that he uh, was so in the most pure soul in the planet, to whom Rama's pastimes were revealed, and he was writing Ramayana. So similarly, Mrigari the hunter also, whom Narada Muni met, and he used to not fully kill the animals, half kill the animals. And Narada Muni came and said, why are you killing it half? Why don't you kill it fully? But then he said, why should I kill it fully? Because this is my entertainment. I like seeing them. writhing in pain to death. Then Narada Muni explained that if you kill them fully, they undergo less pain for a short time and it comes back to you. If you let them have pain for a longer time, because you are causing that pain, you will get back the same pain. And he was wondering, really? And Narada Muni showed by his mystical potency that all those animals whom he had hunted on the sky, waiting to gnaw his, flesh away, like how he caused the pain to him, and then he got scared. So he said, okay, no, I did this only to take care of my family. Narada Muni said, okay, go ask them if they would take, you can divide this sinful activities. I killed this, one fourth of the pain I undergo, and the rest of the pain will be shared with the family members. And nobody said it's your responsibility how you take care of the family, and you choose to do it this way. So we can't take part in your sinful activities, the reaction of it. So it came heavily dawning on him, and then he wanted a solution. Then Narada Muni said, you put down your bow and arrow and start chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And he chanted and he asked, what will I do for my living? And he said, don't worry, you just chant, you will get. And the news spread that the hunter has become a saint, and the villagers started bringing him food to eat. And that way, he became a complete saint, complete 180-degree. So that's why there is no pre-qualification to who can chant this mantra. Oh, I am eating non-veg or I am drinking, so I will not chant. No. It's up to you if you want to give this up after you chant for some time. But to start chanting, there is no rules and regulation. Oh, today I have not eaten non-veg, so can I chant or not? No question. Whatever is our other habits, we continue to start chanting. And then there is boundless happiness by this practice. And why? When there is, a silent meditation, close your eyes and watch your thoughts. This is what you must have heard. Why chanting aloud? And chanting also, they would say, no, I will chant only in mind. No, chanting has to be done audibly. Why? Because sound is the subtlest element that can reach the subtle element, the mind. If someone is sleeping, if you clap, there is more, chances that he would get up than you would use the other sense organs. You put a rose or, through the smell, through the eyes or anything. Sound wakes up a sleeping man. The mantra, the sound, divine sound of the mantra wakes up the sleeping soul. So this is, it purifies us. If we just chant this Mahamantra, Yennama Shruti Matrena Puman Bhavati Nirmalaha. Just by hearing what we chant, just by hearing the mantra, we get purified. We don't need to do anything extra. And what about the diet part? So when we eat food, what does it do? Of course, it turns into blood and distributes it to the whole body. And then unwanted things is flushed out from the system. And then it goes to the brain, producing a consciousness. So if you have eaten in a restaurant and that person who cooked had a fight with a spouse and he's constantly thinking about the fight and cooking, when we are cooking, what we are thinking goes in the food, and then it gets transferred to the one who's eating that food, right? So that's why it is important to eat the right type of food, not anything anywhere. Okay, so the food being in the mode of goodness, sattva produces good effects. The food in the mode of rajas produces misery. The food in the mode of tamas uh, pushes us more into ignorance, more and more. So that's why spiritual food called prasadam purifies our consciousness. That it is said, right? Any temple you go in India or here, or even if you do a Satyanarayan Vrata or any such yajna at home, they say, eat prasadam and go. And we'll read stories also. If you don't eat prasadam, what will happen? No, it's not like, the stick principle. But prasadam purifies us. Why? Because prasadam means mercy. Krishna is not hungry for our food, but he is hungry for our relationship. So when we offer the food to him with love, we are developing our pure relationship with him, and he accepts the food by just seeing the food. And the food become the even though say we offer roti sabji before, that becomes material. But after offering to the Lord, because of the glance of the Lord, because he eats by his glance, and he reproduces the same food, that is not the same roti sabji. It has a spiritual value, and it can purify us. So that doesn't need to be done in the temple only. We can do it at our home also. There are very simple prasadam prayers that we can offer to the Lord. Just like we all have our own dinnerware, so we can make one thing that is dedicated to the Lord, and make sure that we offer something every day, the whole meal or a part of the meal, like that. So he says, Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhakti upahritam ashnami prayatatmanaha. Patram, a leaf; pushpam, flower; patram, pushpam; phalam, fruit; toyam, water. A leaf, a flower, fruit or water, you give to me with bhakti. If you give to me with bhakti, I accept it, Krishna says. Not that we should only offer, we should eat puri, sabji, cake and halwa, and only offer whole food, whole fruit or dried fruits that is there for years together. No. I mean, we should at least offer that. But then if we want to get purified, then what we eat, before we eat, we give to Krishna. And that will purify our senses and help us because bhakti yoga means the yoga of love. So by cooking for someone, we invite friends over for lunch or dinner, and then we talk, we cook for them. That shows our love, and it will enhance the relationship. We had spent good time together. So similarly, when we cook for the Lord and we offer to the Lord, the whole cooking process becomes a part of yoga. And then by eating that prasadam, we are able to develop bhakti or devotion to the Lord. Then we can do some service to the Lord. Like Arjuna fought for the Lord. The squirrel, did something. And the fruit vendor lady, she gave all her fruits to Krishna, and Krishna looked at her empty basket, filled the empty basket, filled with jewels. So that is seva. I mean, whatever we have, the qualification, we can engage ourselves in voluntary service. See, even the high school kids are forced that you have to get some voluntary service, because serving mentality should be there. Something that I don't expect. And if we do it to God, then you can imagine how much we will be blessed, right? So that there are different departments that we can work in a temple. In Charlotte, we are going to construct a temple. We got a land, and we need so many people. A temple is built by many hearts and many hands, not by one person and not for one person. It's a home for everyone, and everyone together builds it. So there are so many sevas, services that are required in that, and we can offer them that, whatever we can do, some time dedicated to for voluntary service in the temple. So by these services, we can easily please the Lord and attain His mercy. So now we are going to see a short video about the founder, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, how he came to West, or why he came and what he achieved.
Bharatvarsha, India's profound culture, filled with penetrating answers to man's deepest questions, has long guided thought in the Eastern and Western world. Ancient philosophers like Pythagoras, medieval thinkers like Voltaire, modern scientists like Schrödinger, Heisenberg, and messengers such as Swami Vivekananda accepted Indian philosophy for guidance and inspiration. Yet the purpose of this culture remained unknown, hidden in the hearts of India's greatest mystics. Thus, 50 years ago, in 1965, this rarefied essence was carried by a compassionate 70-year-old saint, Srila Prabhupada, to the shores of the Western world. Embarking on this difficult transatlantic voyage, experiencing 2 heart attacks on his 38 days aboard.
The pain was so severe. I was attacked by heart attack while on the sea twice.
This embodiment of India's sacred teachings set out alone with an impossible wish to spark a revolution of the individual heart, to fill it with purpose in a world of uncertainty, with joy in times of difficulty on an international scale. This gift was the teachings of Bhagavad Gita as it has been practiced for millennia, as it is, along with its original Vedic Krishna-conscious culture. By his character and his compassion, Srila Prabhupada's systematic and scientific presentation of Krishna consciousness penetrated the very hearts of all those who heard him.
In America, in September 1965, my mission is to preach the philosophy of Lord Chaitanya, chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
And within a mere 3 years of his arrival, a genuinely international society, ISKCON, manifested globally inspiring teachings of Indian A. Arts, such as painting, music, instruments, and exhibitions. B. Books, particularly his magnum opus, the literary and intellectual jewel, Srimad Bhagavatam. C. Cuisine, the entire suite of exotic Indian vegetarian preparations, mastered by generations of cooks and enthusiastically embraced by boys and girls over the standard cow flesh, alcohol, drugs, coffee, tea, and even the onion and garlic. D. Dressing, men with dhoti kurta, women in saris, all with tilak. E. Etiquettes, respect to elders, the saintly, and to God. F. Following the cultural pathway, Sanskriti, for example, introducing the sanctity of Vedic marriage with all its duty and its commitment. G. A God-centric program establishing a personal relationship with the Lord in the form of exquisite deity worship, performed communally with kirtan, distribution of Mahaprasad, and worship. H. A healthy lifestyle with regulation such as rising early in the morning and pure habits such as bathing upon rising. I. Indian ethics, establishing the value from scriptures such as Ramayana and Mahabharata of a life filled with perseverance, tolerance, and humility over personal appearance, education, and wealth. J. Jolly dancing in kirtans to worship the Lord. Srila Prabhupada's teachings were centered on the essence of India's wisdom, that the constant chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, or as he called it, the great chant for deliverance, was capable of revolutionizing the world.
If you kindly become Krishna conscious and chant and dance in ecstasy, emotional love of God, the whole world will follow you and it will be Vaikuntha, there will be no more trouble. Thank you very much.
His gifts to India included 3 major centers of culture and education in 1. Bombay, the economic capital of India. 2. Vrindavan, India's foremost place of worship. And 3. Sri Ram Mayapur, ISKCON's international headquarters. Srila Prabhupada's unprecedented achievements have created an imperishable legacy. Their magnitude is understood only in terms of how the world has changed since his arrival on Western shores. Indians are now valued not only for their technical competence, but also for their character, their holistic culture, and their loving devotion to the Lord. Today, his students form a body of world-class spiritual leaders to carry on Srila Prabhupada's mission of compassion. Truly, India has regained its position as a genuine beacon of light for the entire world, for generations to come, especially with the construction of the Temple of Vedic Planetarium.
Yeah, so we're very grateful. And Srila Prabhupada took this up in 1965.
Bharat Varsha.
Okay, when he was just 60, I would like to say a little more, like he was 69. And he was born in 1896, and he met his spiritual master in 1922. And in 1922, when he first met in Calcutta, his spiritual master told him, why don't you preach this message of Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam to the English-speaking people? And so at that time, India was still under British rule. So he argued that who will listen to us? We first have to get independence. But his guru told that this knowledge of spiritual wisdom is a need of the hour. It doesn't depend, it's more important than any independent of one country. Because this is a need of the hour for the soul. There are so many people who are dying every day, every minute. How many people, how many deaths? So they've all been human lives, but we don't know how many of them got this opportunity to know how to lead a peaceful and happy life. So he took it up, and then he dedicated himself to printing magazines. Even if he had less money, if he had no money even to eat, he would try and print magazines and give out, because he wanted to follow what his guru said. Then one day someone said that instead of magazines, you write books. Then he started writing books. 80 volumes he had written in the last 10 years. So in 1965, he was 69 years old and he had no money. His children were already old, and he has given his business to his sons, and he has come to live in Vrindavan, a life of, in a very simple, small room with very meager facilities. And he was writing books at that time. And so he was, but he was constantly pushed by this desire, let me try to go to the Western world. But he hardly had any money to buy himself a new set of dhoti or kurta. What to speak of, getting an air ticket. So, as a long story short, somehow there was one person who sponsored him, one of his friend's son who lived in Pennsylvania, and he was married to a Jewish girl. So he sponsored him a 4 months tourist visa. And okay, he has a visa now, but how would he get there? So he went to this Skindia steamship company, and he knew the owner of that company, and he would say, Swamiji, you're old. America is cold. You're going to die there. She said, but he said, no, I have to try. And he convinced her after many, many times. And then she gave him a free ticket in a cargo ship. So nowadays, when we go to India or come back, it's like maybe 18 hours, 20 hours journey, and we are thoroughly gone. And a 69-year-old had no other option other than to take the free ticket in a cargo ship that would start from Calcutta, because it's a cargo ship, it's not a passenger ship. So Calcutta all the way to Cochin, and then to Cochin, and then to the tip of South Africa, and then through the Suez Canal, through the Atlantic Ocean to Boston. And it took 38 days on the ship. And you can imagine, for a 69-year-old, what it is. I mean, it's nice to go in a cruise for some time, but then you get sick, seasick, because the cruise ships are very nicely built, but this, like a cargo ship, was going up and down, and he had 2 heart attacks in the ship, and he said if a third one would come, I wouldn't survive. But he landed in Boston, and he had only a 4-month tourist visa, and only $8, 40 rupees at that time was $8 worth of money. And yeah, with that he started, and he came after 2 months of living in Pennsylvania in that house. Then they asked him, New York may be a better place for him. He had to share a room with another so-called yogi, but that yogi said that you can become God. And Srila Prabhupada's mission is, you can never become God, you're always a servant of God. And he was talking so much logic and sense that um, Dr. Mishra's students started listening to him, and he felt threatened, and he gave Srila Prabhupada the 8 by 10 room with no windows and no place to cook or to take shower. There was only a toilet that was supposed to be a storefront for a place for a small gift shop kind of. Then from there, one of his students said, okay, you can share the room with me. And he happened to be on drugs, and he's 70-year-old, and he would leave the soap on the bathtub. You can imagine. Okay, if we slip and fall down, we have family to take care. Who's there to take care of Srila Prabhupada that uh, time? And he started going crazy, taking. So he walked out of his room. This is all his trouble for an year. Then finally, he was played like a volleyball from one family to another. Carl and his girlfriend, they said, oh, it's difficult to keep Swamiji with us. And then Mike and another person, they all said, okay, let's all put money and let us rent him a place where he can lecture and a place where he can stay, all for $125. And then they were relieved. So he didn't know how he's going to pay the next month rent. And that's how it started. He would cook all by himself. He would make gulab jamuns and, nice feast. People would come. They don't need to pay. They just take prasadam. And he was in the Lower East Side in 1965. There was no Indians there. And there were fully uh, young people who were lost to drugs. So he was in such a worst place with the worst audience, but he proved to them that how Hare Krishna Mahamantra can change their lives. So they gave up all the bad habits because of this chanting and because of this prasadam that they were eating. And he was asking them to become teachers of Bhagavad Gita, to go around the world and start different centers. And this was all in 1966. ISKCON was formed, and 1977, in 11 years, he passed away from Vrindavan. He breathed his last in Vrindavan. But within the 11 years, there was already 108 centers all around the world. And he didn't name ISKCON as Bhakti Vedanta Mission. Nothing on his name. If you know, even now ISKCON is known as Hare Krishna. So his mood was genuinely to glorify the Lord. So he was a guru. He didn't claim to be God. He is clear that he is a guru, and guru's position is to lead one to God. And he trained his disciples who are leading now gurus, but everyone ultimately is a servant of Srila Prabhupada, and Srila Prabhupada has given so many children who are all his disciples and his grand disciples, and then it will continue on, and who will spread this legacy and continue his mission to live a God-centered, pure life. So I would like to thank all these slides are from by His Grace Radheshyam Prabhu and his team. So he has, he has made this everything and given to facilitators like us so that we can use this and share this knowledge with others. So you can look him up in the YouTube channel, Radhe Shyam Das. There are so many of his lectures and his even in live lectures, Zoom are there. So thanks to all of you for your patience. And Bhagavad Gita, when I listened first, I never wanted to end. I didn't want my teacher to end, and it was for 7 days, and I wish that it continue forever. And that's the same feeling even now for me. Although I am in the sharing end more than anyone, I learned myself, and every time I read this, I speak something. I learn a lot from this, and I want to continue learning. So we will pause here. As promised, it's a 1 week course, and we got something in a nutshell, something here and there. But if you're interested, we can go step by step, chapter after chapter, and we will go in depth and detail. So you can stay with us, and we will inform you in the group that what we are going to do next. So thank you so much for your patient listening, and please forgive me if I have said anything that's not proper. Whatever the credit, if you find something useful, that's because of the blessings of my teachers and Guru, and obviously Srila Prabhupada. If there is some mistakes, it's because of my inability to do that, and kindly forgive that and bless me so that I can improve in the service and I can help share this knowledge. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Really appreciate your patience, and if you have any questions and any feedback, anybody wants to say where you are from, if you have a request, we can take it now. Thank you. Yeah, Rima Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
You are one source of inspiration for a very long time. If I can give one person credit of falling in love with Krishna, I think it will be you and your classes that I've attended. And I'm just taking this opportunity to ask a question that has been bothering me for some time. Like after the inspiration of having ISKCON Toronto close to my house, going there and then learning about your classes and then attending. So there's this book, Krishna, which I have been reading, and I was told that that's part of like Bhagavatam. So yeah, so Krishna stories. Now, I was expecting myself to sort of grow in the journey of spirituality, but some of the stories are very conflicting. You were just mentioning that why would Krishna do such things, right? Which don't make sense. But some of the stories, I'm forgetting the names, but he did sort of kidnap Rukmani ji before marriage, but Rukmani wanted to get married to Krishna. There was another wife who was kidnapped, who was unwillingly kidnapped and then got married. Then there was Krishna's, I think, grandson who was getting married, who again kidnapped someone without her choice. And Krishna still fought for his grandson and not against like number of unethical things. Even Balarama visited somebody. So I'm forgetting the names. I'm sorry, but I'm sure you would recognize what I'm talking about. And there, this other person who was seated on a higher position, did
Yeah.
not get up to honor. Yeah, and his head was cut by Balaram. So, on one hand, we learn that we humans should be away from ego, pride, and here we are, hearing God stories. It doesn't make sense to me. Can you explain, please?
Thank you so much, Mataji. Before I start, I wanted to ask you if you are chanting.
I am. Yes, I am chanting.
Okay, very good. Because without that service of chanting, it's very difficult to understand the pastimes of Krishna. And so Krishna kidnapped Rukmini because Rukmini only asked him to kidnap him. If you see the previous day, Rukmini is sending the
Yeah,
letter.
that I'm clear. Rukmini, I
Okay.
know. She was
Yeah.
interested. So
And the
that makes
other
sense.
8 queens that he kidnapped, none of them were kidnapped without their desire. The one that Samba kidnapped, I'll come to that. But apart from Rukmini, there are 7 other queens, 8 main queens, and all of them desired Krishna in one way or the other. So
Mhm.
why kidnap? Because in the previous yuga, the Kshatriyas, they were allowed to show their chivalry. If you see, Swayamvara used to be
Mhm.
conducted, right? And in that
Right.
Swayamvara, what did Janaka Maharaj do? Sita, for winning Sita Devi, you need to take this heavy, bow and arrow and string it. That was a
Right.
competition. So same
Right.
way, the kings have to show their valor, their chivalry, their braveness. They are Kshatriyas, means they are known for courageous show of their bravery and their strength. So that was very much welcome by the father of the princess. And it was allowed that they kidnap the thing. That is one other way in Kali Yuga that cannot be done. But in
Mhm.
the previous yugas, in the Kshatriya kings, it was common to show as a strength, a mark of strength, and the girl also willingly wanted to marry the whoever is kidnapping. So Krishna's wives didn't have any, they did not like. But when, as you said, Krishna's son Samba, again went kidnapped uh, Duryodhana's daughter, and there was a fight there, and all the Maharathis of Kurus, they were like fighting against him with him in the center, and Shamba was able to defeat everyone, and every one of them at that point felt that he is a great guy suited to our daughter in our family, because they were happy that he did that. But Duryodhana did not want, because the Kurus were in a powerful position, and Samba comes from Yadu dynasty, which is a small clan. So when Balaram came, when the Yadus, they came to know that Samba was arrested, immediately they said, let's take an army and go. And Balaram said, no, wait, let me go first and convince them and talk to them. But it was Duryodhan who hurled uh, insults against Lord Balaram, did not welcome him properly, and he was behaving very bad. Like, he's known to behave like that. Even to Vidura, he behaved like that, and Vidura left the palace. But Balaram, what he did, he just took his plow and he pulled Hastinapur. There was earthquake in Hastinapur, and it was about to the whole all buildings and the thing was sliding towards falling down in Ganga, because Ganga was so deep, and Ganga goes to the lower planetary systems. So easily a city can go into Ganga. Then they realized, who is he? So the point is, Balaram, if he's an ordinary person, how he can, with the strike of the plow, he has so much strength to bring a whole city into Ganga. Then they realized they mistake. They came running to Balaram and they said that we underestimated you and we are very happy. We want to send our girl with the dowry. And the same Balaram, if you see the Roma Harshana pastime. So the Roma Harshana pastime was everybody got up and paid respects to Balaram when he came. Balaram is Adi Guru. But Roma Harshana, he was sitting on the Vyasasana. That means he was sitting in the place where he is a speaker and everyone is a listener. So
Yeah.
whatever a speaker speaks, everyone is going to follow that. And more than what he speaks, what he acts. If I tell you, touch your nose, and then I touch here, everybody will touch here. Nobody will touch the nose. Although I'm saying touch the nose, I'm touching my head. So Roma Harshana did not get up to give respect to Balaram, and that may be a small thing. But Balaram is also a Paramatma in everyone's heart. So he is sending a message of disrespect. And if we disrespect the Adi Guru, and then we are sitting in a position of Guru, and you can imagine how the next generations of sages can be contaminated by that, because they're seeing this and they have the sense of pride. And when we speak, our pride only comes. How much purity and how much pride we have, that comes out. And then that's going to be carried on to the sages, and the sages are going to carry it on, and it's going to lead another, instead of divine path, a different path. And Balaram could see all this. And so Balaram could see the pride in that I don't need to get up to give you respect. And if he is not in Vyasasan, it doesn't matter. But when he is in Vyasasan and he's talking for generations to come. So he uh, uh, gave him the punishment. Just took a grass and touched him with the kusa grass, and he was dead. Then all the sages were alarmed. Oh, we blessed him with long life. Then Balaram said, okay, you tell me, if you want, I can bring him back to life. But what they said, no, you are a powerful Supreme Lord and you have given him, let it be that. Because you have a purpose in doing that. But at the same time, make our blessings also intact. So his son, who is not different from the father, he was given the blessings and he started sitting in the Vyasasana and he continued. So what it shows, outwardly, it shows that Balaram is so arrogant. But inwardly, it shows so many nuances of how a guru can know what is going on in everyone's heart, and how a person who is in the position of the guru should be very careful. Even a small mistake can lead to a huge blunder, generations after generation. So all these nuances
Mm-hmm.
we will be able to get by
Mm-hmm.
studying this.
I knew I'll get the answer from you. I knew that I was thinking for many days to give you a call and ask you these questions, but look, the Lord Krishna provided me the way. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Mataji.
Hare
I'm
Krishna.
I'm saying what I listened from many lectures by many different devotees who have spoken on this again and again, churned
Mm.
this threadbare. They have analyzed this, that why, and same way, why Krishna has to dance with gopis. If you have read that Rasa dance, uh,
Mm-hmm.
that chapter, Parikshit Maharaj is asking to Sukadeva Goswami, Krishna has come to establish dharma. How he
Mm-hmm.
can dance at the dead of the night with all the gopis? And what message is he giving? Is he dharma? He's asking that. And Shukadeva Goswami is giving him 10-point answers for that. That Krishna was 7 years old at that time. That's not the age where lust comes. So first of all, there
Mm-hmm.
was no, it is the dance of Paramatma and Jivatma. And everybody belongs to the Lord first, than to our own spouses and families and everything else. And he danced with the spiritual bodies of the gopis, not with their material body. Their material bodies were there lying down near their husbands. And he expanded himself into each gopi. There are millions of gopis, and he expanded himself to show that God is personally present for every single one of us. So like this, he's giving so many answers, and then, Shukadev Goswami, Parikshit Maharaj is able to understand.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Mataji. Thank you for, reading this. And also, I would recommend that if you don't have Bhagavatam, you can buy a set and start reading from Canto 1 onwards. Because
Yeah, the
Krishna,
volume scares me. It's such a big book. So I thought I'll start with Krishna first and
yeah,
then
but it's such a
gradually.
big book, it can be done quite quickly. There is, if you want, first you can finish the translations alone. We have been reading 15 minutes in the evening,
Mhm.
7:15 to 7:30, and we are already in the fifth canto. That started
Okay.
only in the last 6 months. Only 15 minutes for 4 days a week, which is like an hour a week. And we are reading
Mhm.
only translations. Then, after one time, we read the translations of the 12 cantos, then we can come back and read the purports. The purports are really, gives answers to so many of our questions. And Prabhupada
Mhm.
spent day and night writing these purports.
Sure. Yeah. Krishna desires, I'll read that also. Thank you for inspiring. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
Mataji. Thank you.
Hare
I saw
Krishna.
some raised hand. Yeah, Nisha Mataji.
Yes, Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you for the wonderful class. We are listening the session since Monday,
Uh-huh.
and I and Umesh. Yeah, Umesh has one question to ask today.
Mhm.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
In Bhagavad Gita also I read the same thing which you mentioned today, that our original position is in the spiritual world. We were a part and parcel of Krishna. And because of our independent desire, we are out of that spiritual world and now we are wandering from one universe to other universe. And in Bhagavad Gita itself, Krishna is saying to Arjun that if you follow bhakti path, you are sure to come to spiritual world again and you will not come back in this miserable world. So, what will be the difference? What was the difference when we were originally with him and still we had, a dual mind that I want to become a leader and we are out of the spiritual world. So, how and why, if we go the second time, we will not come back because of our independent desire?
Yeah.
What is the difference between these two then?
Thank you, Prabhuji, for the question. So, the second time will not happen because once we have burnt our fingers, we will not come back because Krishna is promising, and not
Exactly.
one
Yeah,
time.
when he promises, he will surely deliver.
Yeah, and not one time. Many times he promises
Promises.
throughout Bhagavad Gita that Yadgatva, my abode is defined as somewhere you go and you never come back. So how did we come back first? Or where did we there? That question, Srila Prabhupada and all the acharyas said, to understand the answer, one has to be in a liberated soul. When we are under the time and space, how we desired to be independent from the Lord is beyond our scope for understanding. Just like there is a shipwreck and we are in the water and somebody is throwing the rope. You're telling you hold the rope and I'll pull you and you'll come back. But at that point of time, while we are struggling, it's very hard for us to understand how did the shipwreck happen and what is a guarantee that it will not happen again. No, I mean, technically speaking, it is not that we will never understand that. But once we reach the shore, we are in the liberated position of life, then we will be able to understand uh, how it happened and why it happened. And regardless of how and why it happened, it will not happen again
Again, yeah, that
because
that
of
is the
Krishna's
question. Yeah.
because
It
of
should not
Krishna's
happen again.
promise.
Yes.
And yeah, I attended one time 3-part sessions of Balaram Shakti Prabhu, and he answered this one question, and the crux of that is it's like this: if the reason why it is not explained very clearly what happened is that we will not be able to observe or beyond our scope of understanding because we are under the three modes of material nature, time and space at this point of time. And the example that was given was, can you explain to a 2-year-old what happens between the hero and heroine? A 2-year-old will not understand because he doesn't have his senses or developed enough to understand the emotions that's going on between a hero and heroine or a teenagers. What is that? That even if you explain to him, he can't understand that. It's theory. So similar, that example is given to us in a sense to for us to understand that unless we are liberated, we will not understand why we fall down. But the very fact that the Lord is giving the rope for us, that's what matters now, and also his promise that we will never come back again. And once we go there, it will be clear that why and what exactly happened.
Okay, so we have to be in some elevated position spiritually to understand that.
No, we have to be completely in the
Completely
spiritual
in
position.
spiritual art. Okay.
Yeah,
Let,
that's
let
why it
me
is
look.
not explained by any acharyas clearly. I mean, how this fall of Jiva happens.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, implementing the Bhagavad Gita's message in daily life is more deeply transformative while chanting mantras powerfully calms the mind. They work best together. Mantras prepare the mind, and the Gita's wisdom guides our actual choices and actions. Karam, real happiness, bliss in right karma, right? Yeah, very nice understanding. Thank you for this. So, we can. So every morning we have a japa call. We will share the link in this group. So please try to join where we will chant and read. Initially, it will be hard for you to chant for an hour, but you can join and chant whenever, whatever you can. At least 108 times is prescribed. Then, we are reading some books and seeing aratis like this. Um I will share the link and everybody can join. It's 7 days a week. Only it doesn't start 4 a.m. Many places it starts 4:35. But to be practical to many, it's starting at 5:45, 6, and then till 7 we chant, and then we read some things. We learn some songs to sing, and then we see the direct darshan of the Lord on that day, and close by 7:30 in the weekdays, and weekends by 8 o'clock. So I would share the link and would want everyone to join. No, so there is a thing that if we want to continue, in what way we can do that? It will be a paid course then, or we can continue without any charge. No, it's not at all a paid course. This is also not a paid course, but if you want to give some donation, then you're welcome to contribute for ISKCON of Charlotte and ISKCON of Toronto. I will share both the links there. It is completely voluntary, and it's a service from your side. As you see, it will be used for distributing Bhagavad Gita books and providing food for life, like we do homeless shelter meals every once in 2 weeks for 50 homeless shelter meals we prepare, and we offer to the Lord and give them as prasadam. So like this, and of course for building of the temple, and in Toronto maintenance of the temple and conducting Rath Yatra like that. So you're welcome to contribute, and if you've contributed, you can share with me. It's optional. So there won't be any payment for the next level of course. Thank you. Thank you for all your wishes and blessings. Yeah, we will continue this journey. This is just a start. This is just a trailer, and we can continue more. Okay. Anybody has any questions? It's 9:48. I was thinking the best way to finish is to chant 108 times together, so that those of you who are who just want to see what it is, what 108 times chanting can do to you, you can have the first-hand experience of that. If you're late, you can log off, but if not, is that okay to do? It will only take 10 minutes, And if there is any other questions before that. Okay, so I will do a video, which is Prabhupada chanting 108 times. And we can all chant along with that. And keep this volume low, whatever Prabhupada is chanting here. And so you can chant a little bit loud so that we can hear what we are chanting. So what we remind that this 108 times we will not think of anything else, but we will chant. We will try to hear the mantra, and the prayer of the mantra is, O Lord, O energy of the Lord, kindly engage me in your service. Okay, so with that prayer, and we are going to receive the mantra into our ears, and we are going to, you can either close your eyes or look at the mantra. Even if your mind runs here, there, bring it back to the mantra, and this way we can chant together for 10 minutes. Let me share the link. Let me share the screen. So we recite this mantra called Panchatattva mantra before the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Yes. This is Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita, Gadadhara, Srivasadi, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. So I will share these mantras in the group. So before chanting the 108 mantras, we chant this because this is called a Pancha Tattva mantra. We are great because this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra was a great secret mantra that was present only in the Vedas. But when Krishna came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he took this mantra out and gave it free to everyone. Usually you see mantras are secretly chanted, given from guru to disciple, like that. But Krishna, when he came himself as a devotee, he gave this greatest mantra to everyone. So we are chanting Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mantra first, so that we will be freed of offenses when we chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So hope all are ready. We can start now. We are not going to chant for 1 hour. We are just going to chant the first round for 10 minutes.
Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna.
Okay. This chanting really delivers the mind. If we put our mind, of course, I mean, you may not be able to be there for all the 108 mantras, it would go here and there. But if you are able to bring it back and hear the mantra with a prayerful mood, we can see after we chant, we'll feel such a peace of mind. We'll feel like, you know, we are cut off from the external world, and we have, you know, the sense of we have touched the spiritual platform and come back. Yeah, so I will share the link for this video, and you can practice this every day at home. And you can just, only thing we have to hear what we chant. So this can be in the background, like in the low volume, and we can chant along with this. And initially it looked like, you know, it's a little faster pace, but then the mantra has to, we cannot chant it very slow, because then it will difficult for the mind to be there. We cannot chant it very fast, then also it will be difficult. So there has to be an optimum speed. So optimum speed is anywhere between 7 minutes to 10 minutes initially when you start to chant 108 times. So How do you feel? Like if anyone wants to unmute and answer. Those who have, especially if this is the first time that you've chanted 108 times. Okay. Okay, then we'll pause here. Um, Thank you all really so much. And we'll post the instructions in the group. How are we going to go about reading Bhagavad Gita in the second level of depthness, and how we can all, you can all join us. But until then, my request is keep reading Bhagavad Gita. You know, if you don't have a copy, you can buy one in the ISKCON centers, or yeah, really peaceful. Yeah, that's what even I feel. I've been chanting this for so many years, but every time I chant, I feel that peace. It's so nice. It transports us to the different world. Yeah, immediately. That's true. So yeah, so what you could do as a homework is you continue to read Bhagavad Gita and chant this at least 108 times every day. And then please, let's join for the further classes. And if you want to donate anything, I will share that link also. Yeah, Pushpa, somebody raised hand.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. I just wanted to share when I was chanting, it was little fast. Like I was trying to more focus was on catching up with with him, but still it was little mechanical. I couldn't like visualize or do anything. But when I did like 108, it was something like as you said, like sound vibrations, or I felt very peaceful.
Wonderful. Yeah, I agree. It's a little fast. So we can reduce the speed. Like I made it from 0.75 speed in this. The usual speed is still faster than this. Because when you start chanting, then it becomes a practice. You can chant faster. You can, the mind can gravitate in the mantra even when you're chanting fast. That stamina, that expertise comes over a period of time when we chant every day. Initially, I agree it is little fast, so you can reduce the speed to more. I made it 0.75, you can make it zero point 0.6 also in this video. And then take a pace that you can follow. And even though, mind goes here and there, but let's stick to the number 108. And you'll see that after that, you'll feel very peaceful and accomplished.
Is there is a particular time like they say like Brahma Muhurat or
It
like
is
in
recommended to chant in the morning, but if it's not a compulsion. Any time is okay. Better, like for example, if you're getting up, say at 6:30 in the morning, you can get up 6:15, 15
okay.
minutes early. And actually, for this chanting, it's not a must to take shower also. Only when you do the puja and other things, you have to shower. For chanting, it's okay. Some people like to do it after taking shower, and that is good. But if that shouldn't be the reason for not chanting, so we can just wash our face, brush our teeth, and then sit to chant the first thing in the morning. That's very much recommended. If not possible, then if you do first thing in the morning, you will carry that good consciousness, and peace will linger throughout the day. Or if you want to do some, like at a point of time in the morning or in the afternoon where you're more relaxed, you can do at that time also. There is no time restrictions when to chant.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Uh, and it's one of the best decisions. Yeah, thank you, Asha Mataji, for really joining the first person 5:30 every day and continuously chanting, and very nice. Thank you so much. Oh, you did first time 108. Yeah, good. Yeah, thank you all. Thank you, Disha Mataji. Thank you all for your support and, thanks for letting me do this service and give me your blessing so I can continue and improve to serve. And we want many, many souls to take this up and be happy in our lives. So we will all try to spread the word around and benefit many people. So thank you all very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. See you soon.
Thank you, Mataji.